All right, what's up? Today I want to talk about the topic of tunneling and how it's not always the killer's fault that you get tunneled. And I feel like a lot of people think that killers do it on purpose and that they just see it as some ill intent thing. But I want to talk about why it's not always the case. And that's probably a small like percentage of when it is. Or I think it doesn't really happen as often as people think it is. And the reasons why I bring this up is because I had a game where I was playing against the survivors on Haddonfield, and I was put in a situation where everyone was close to each other. So I was hooking somebody, downing somebody really quickly. So when that happens, you end up tunneling because everyone's downing so fast. So like you'll hook somebody, down somebody, and then you'll find the same person again because they're so close. That's a situation where that's I can't control that. Like if survivors play in a certain way, I am tunneling, but it's not really my fault. Like the survivors just put themselves in that situation. And there's a lot of these where survivors will get put in situations to get tunneled when it's not really your fault. And one of the big ones are when you get unhooked and your unhooker just leaves. They just go to fucking the moon or something and they're gone. And people think that a killer should leave that person to go find that person who's probably not even nearby anymore. So you're gonna waste about 30 seconds to look for them, and then you basically throw the game if you don't find them. And I think that's a little bit unfair. You shouldn't expect the killer to leave you when it's not even their fault that they're tunneling you. Now, if it's like the beginning of the game, then I can understand where like let's say it's 4 gens and you hook them twice, then I would say leave them because at that point you're fine. That's what happened in this game in the gameplay I'm showing where I hooked a UE twice and realized okay, I'm at 4 gens. I'm gonna leave her after the second down. Like I'm a hooker, and then if I see her again, I'm gonna just leave her, because it's still early in the game. But the third time I found her again when there was nobody nearby to protect her, so the team is aware that she's being tunneled, but I don't see nobody. And every time she was on hooked, I didn't even see the on hooker because the other two survivors were basically kind of hiding. And it's not really fair that if you unhook somebody, try to be nearby because usually, killer is gonna go back to the hook if they hear the notification. So if you unhook somebody, try to stay nearby if just in case they tunnel. Now there are some exceptions, like if it's a Bubba or a Billy, you can't really. It's awkward to take a hit for a chainsaw, so I understand that. So it's a bit weird. Um, some survivors will block with BT because they just got unhooked, and at that point, you're putting yourself in that situation to be tunneled, and it's like, well, you can't expect the killer to just leave you if you just throw yourself in their face. Or some people will do the gen in the killer's face for some reason. So there's a lot of situations where a survivor will put themselves in the situation to be tunneled. And it's not fair to blame the killer for that. You can't expect them to not do it if like they have no choice. They do have a choice, but it's like you can't expect them to throw the game for you if you're making a bunch of mistakes or your teammate made a mistake. 'Cause I know sometimes it's not your fault if you die. And there are some like situations where the killer is doing it, but you can't blame them. Let's say it's like end game. If it's 2 gens left or 1 gen left, and they know like a gen's gonna pop in 30 seconds or something like that, they're probably gonna tell them because they need a little bit of pressure because they know the gens are gonna pop. So you can't get mad at the killer at like 2 gens left or 1 gen and or end game if they tunnel because it's like they want to get one kill. You can't be mad at them for that. Like I can't say that. Like you are allowed to be upset. I get that, but try not to hold it against them. I should say because they just want to win just like you, and sometimes they have no choice, and it's a bit unfair. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people in the community who will see somebody in the game and be like, you know what, I'm gonna tunnel you for whatever reason. And there are people like that. There are assholes who would just tunnel you for no reason in the beginning. I don't want to call them assholes because tunneling is like it is a strategy in a way in some cases, but I know some people just do it even though they don't need to do it, which is kind of messed up. Don't get me wrong, but usually a killer isn't doing it on purpose. Sometimes if they feel like they're playing bad, they're gonna do it. I usually do it when I feel bad or when I'm playing bad because I need some pressure. So it's like, some people need to do it, some people don't, and they don't mean to do it in like a mean way. The same way with like toxic squads, like the toxic Swift squads. they're just having fun in their own way. That's the way I see it. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think and peace out.